Tonight on Golden Eagles Live, volleyball season comes to an end, shut out again by Cal U. Coach Jen Mills will join me in studio. Wrestling has a tough weekend, and the basketball teams both win their home openers. Plus, Julian Hauser is named a finalist for the Gene Upshaw Award. Golden Eagles Live starts right now. And welcome to another edition of Golden Eagles Live here on CUTV. Matt Catrillo here with you alongside me, Anthony Fiuza, the semester finale edition here tonight. And Anthony, to start off our semester finale, we got some breaking news starting with football as Clarion head coach Jay Foster has announced his retirement. And that broke about 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm just going to read the quote that he put in. This is from ClarionGoldenEagles.com. I devoted myself over the last 9 years to advance Clarion football, and we feel we made a lot of progress. I just feel this is the right time to retire and the right thing to do for the program, myself, and my family. I'd like to thank everyone at Clarion who supported us during my tenure, especially our coaches, student-athletes, staff, and alumni and friends of the university. I wish the program every success in the days ahead. I love coaching football, and my goal is to continue coaching somewhere in the future. So that was what he said on ClarionGoldenEagles.com in his retirement after 9 seasons as Clarion head coach. So, Anthony, first I'll give you a reaction to this. And we thought that after an unsuccessful year, finishing on an 8-game losing streak, 2-9, that Coach Foster might not return. Especially with that last sentence, I would think it's something where they kind of asked him to retire in this point, because when you look at the success, you have one winning season as head coach at 8-3. That was the 09 season. That year where an unpredictable year where they could have made the playoffs with the stuff with Edinburgh and all that. So I think we obviously know what underlies this, but obviously we wish Coach Foster the best.
Absolutely, Matt. We definitely wish Coach the best. It's hard to see Clarion football struggling in 9 seasons under Foster with only 1 winning season. All that isn't on him. The talent is executing, and the recruits. How much can you get being in the position you're in as Clarion? So, yeah, definitely you got to think that he would coach somewhere in the future. It seems like Clarion, the sports. I mean, a lot of times you keep a coach around until they're ready to resign and then leave on their own terms. But yeah, definitely sad to see that.
And this was after 28 years, 9 here at Clarion, and then the other 18 came with Slippery Rock under the Coach Mahal down there at the Rock, so good as a defensive coordinator. So of course we wish Coach Foster the best, and that search will continue nationwide immediately. So we'll keep you updated on that one. So let's go now to volleyball, as they were shut out again by Cal U in the NCAA Division II tournament, as their season now comes to an end. They had a couple postseason awards, but Anthony, your thoughts on the whole season for the volleyball team?
A whole season, it was a success. I mean, you have all this young talent just coming in and executing really, really well. Of course, going through some growing pains, dealing with Cal U has been a pain in the neck, to say the least. But all in all, a successful season. Not much to say except continue on, Clarion volleyball. You got this, and continue winning on. And nothing more to say about that.
Everyone forgets how much of an underdog this team actually was coming off of last year's playoff run into the NCAA tournament. A lot of freshmen come into this year. No one expected this team to win 30 games and just have all the success that they had. So I think this is definitely a very successful year. And this team, I think, of course, you have to have more recruiting and stuff like that. I think this team can be a national champion in the years to come, because look at all these girls. They made some big plays this year. I mean, Catherine Ferragonio, she had a game where she played all the same positions in 1 game. Gabby Olsen was named Freshman of the Year. So you have all these contributors this year, plus girls like Josh Lanusic as well, who stepped up after a tough start with injuries and all that to her career last year. So this is a very deep team, and the more you can add, the better. Coach Mills obviously does a great job in recruiting. We're going to talk to her next year on Golden Eagles Live about the success and the team going forward. So certainly the future looks very bright for this club.
Definitely, and continuing to progress and continuing to make those hustle plays and save the ball, and those are some of the big keys going forward. But I like this team a lot.
And we also mentioned Laura Subjects and Morgan Siebold, and also Gabby also were named All-Region honors as well. So we go to wrestling as they were shut out by Penn State last Saturday night. A great crowd at Tibbin Gymnasium, sold out all the way to the top. But they do lose 44-0 to Penn State. Then they lose on Sunday at Rider 38-3, and then 25-13 at Penn. 0-7 on the years I talked about on CUTV News just a little while ago. So still a tough go for the wrestling team to start.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to the nitty-gritty and the grimy, gruesome, just those tough points, seems like they're going the other team's way and just getting dominated in the points. Teams are finding every which way to get those easy points, and of course it adds up throughout the course of a match, and we saw that especially here against Penn State.
And two bright spots from Penn State and from last Sunday as well. Slade Horner being named PSAC Wrestler of the Week. Brock Zacharel, one of the brothers from Brookville High School, named EWL Freshman of the Week. So good to see those guys get in there. Horner had a nice weekend this weekend, winning both of his bouts at 165. Yeah,
definitely important for him to get off to a good start and just continuing some momentum, and hopefully that trend kicks over to the next bout.
Well, Anthony, now we'll go to basketball this time, starting with women's basketball. Coach Jen Ashley getting her first win in the home opener against Ursuline, but then they lose at Walsh on Tuesday, and they both teams taking on Gannon tomorrow on the road. Game you can listen to on 91.7 FM, our sister radio station. So going to the Ursuline game, Anthony, that was a game where Clarion was in it. They were up 15-12 early in the first half, and then a 20-2 run by Walsh opened things up, and they never looked back from there.
Yeah, I tell you what, they were really kicking it to high gear, especially on the defensive end, and getting those hustle plays and making a lot of their easy shots. And three-pointers were big. Tanea Holmes had the majority of those. She's been a bright spot from beyond the arc. And it was good to see Coach Ashley get her first home win, her first head coaching win as the women's head coach. So she said her mom was in attendance, so it was always extra motivation to get that W. So definitely happy for her.
And it'll be a tough matchup for them tomorrow. Struggling with shooting a little bit. Free throw percentage only at 60%, something they have to work on as well. Defense, they've given up 90-plus points 2 of the last 3 games, and Gannon has struggled to shoot to start, but of course they're still the number 5 team in the nation. They're coming off their best shooting performance of the year and a loss at Grand Valley State. They've had some tough competition too. Also played Ashland, so that'll be tough for them. A tough game coming up for them tomorrow night. Let's go to men's basketball now, Anthony, for this block. They win their home opener as well against Carlo. They are 2-2 this season. They were up 64-63 with 4.5 to go. Then they go on a key 12-3 run, and they close out the game.
Yeah, they've definitely been. That's one of the big keys for them, is just continue to make those extra passes and just hit the shots you're supposed to. It's not going to be easy with this team running gun in transition and stuff like that, but they're showing a lot of positive things. I like the 2-2 start.
And you have a lot of different players contributing to this team, Anthony, so far. You have 6 players averaging double figures, and all the freshmen contributing well too. Brandon Williams leading the way as one of those freshmen in double-digit points. So, and also too defensively, they forced 27 turnovers again. They've now forced 23 a game. Granted, they've had their issues turning the ball over too, and that has contributed to 32.5% of their offense so far in forcing turnovers. So that's been a plus to see, because that's exactly what Coach Williams' expectations were. Yeah, definitely. When you have those speed guys in place, running and gunning, it's hard for the defense to get set and make the correct adjustments. And eventually you have bigger lineups being brought in space. It's tough for a team like Gannon and such to stop that. It's going to be tough. And Clarion all-time at the Hammer Mill Center up in Gannon, 3-20. They've lost 9 in a row altogether against Gannon, so always a tough place to play, and they will also take on Gannon tomorrow night as well. So another good shooting team as well, of course, with Adam Blazik, one of the best shooters and players on all the PSAC. Definitely will be tough competition for the Golden Eagles tomorrow night up in Erie. But coming up next here on Golden Eagles Live, we'll switch gears back to volleyball as head coach Jen Mills, as two-time PSAC Coach of the Year Jen Mills, will join me in studio next here on Golden Eagles Live.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry.
Maybe he can't hear us.
Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Thank you, dear. Oh, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Welcome back to Golden Eagles Live here on CUTV. Matt Catrillo here with you, and joining me now is the PSAC Coach of the Year, Jen Mills. Coach, congratulations on another great season and for your award as well, and thanks for coming on here tonight.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, you guys had a tough battle again with Cal. You much better effort, I think, in an overall game, even though it was still the same score, 3-0.
Right.
Did they just seem like they just had that answer once again against you guys?
It was a tough matchup for us. They're a very physical team. Probably one of the best blocking, or the best blocking team, not only in the conference, but one of the better blocking teams in the country. Better defensive team, and we worked really hard. I think after losing them in the first round of the PSACs, to try to fix some things. I think we were much better against them this time. You know, combined total of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. You lost the match by, so in 3 games. So definitely a lot closer, much better effort, but in the end, just couldn't get it done.
What, if anything, did you game plan differently for them this time around?
We just had to we had to pull the ball off the net a little bit more. With them being such a good blocking team, we needed to adjust offensively. And we needed to block the ball a little bit better. We were not as efficient as I'd like us to be defensively when we played them the first time. So we fixed a lot of that stuff, and I think that we were much better in that respect.
Now, obviously, they beat you 3 out of 4 times this year, and they've just been that thorn in your side the last couple of seasons. So when you go out recruiting now, obviously you've done the job in recruiting. Obviously, we know the freshmen that contributed this year. What do you do to recruit and finally knock Cal off eventually here down the stretch?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing that we do is address, you know, what we're losing, and then you address, really when it comes down to it, is who are the top teams in the conference and what type of player do you need to beat them, and that's what we address. We've been done for our 2015 recruiting class for a while. We've got 4 kids signed in the early signing this past fall. An outside hitter, a setter, and 2 middles. And I think that we're going to be even more physical than we were this year. Pretty big, pretty athletic, and we should be. You should probably see a few more freshmen contribute early on next year.
And now that we mentioned in the last block with Anthony, Coach, you know, no one expected you guys to have the season that you did with such a young team. So talk about how this team responded to everything that you guys went through this year.
So we were in a rebuilding year, you know, with losing the talent that we did last year and kids that had been really staples in our program and on the court. And so we really didn't know what to expect, and we just got in the gym, got at it. And the nice thing is we worked really hard recruiting a class of 7 girls that really pushed our upperclassmen and got on board with what we were trying to teach and knew how to win coming in. So that was, I think, part of the success.
Getting to some of those players individually, I mentioned Gabby Olson the last block being named PSAC Freshman of the Year. Talk about what you saw from her this year.
She's really easy to work with, really easy to coach. She's really responsive. We ran some new things offensively with her, and she's just a big physical kid, and she got better laterally. Her vision on the court was a little bit better, and she just improved, I think, with every match, and she tended to step up. I know she struggled in our last match against Cal, but in most of our big matches, she really, really stepped up for us and was very efficient and definitely one of our go-tos.
Catherine Ferragonio stepped up well this year. I mentioned the one game where she played every single position when you guys had Carly Baranowski down in the one tournament that you guys held. Talk about how she grew throughout the season. She's
grown a lot, and we knew coming in, she's probably got one of the higher volleyball IQs in our gym. She's been around the sport, and she's played every position on the court, from libero to setter and to outside hitter. And we initially thought she was going to contend at the libero, which she was contending. But we needed her to hit as we had some injuries, and she was the most efficient option. And I just couldn't be more proud of the way she stepped up, and I'm really excited about where she'll be in the future.
I think you would agree with me saying you wouldn't have had the success that you've had this year without ever wanted for you the senior leadership of Carly Baranowski and Laura Subject. Talk about what they meant to you this year, but for all their 4 years.
I mean, this senior class, was unbelievable. We knew what we were getting with Laura coming in. And we knew that she was a good setter, and it took her a year behind Amanda Goff to really get comfortable at this level. But more than anything, she just understands how to run the court, and she's unbelievable just mentor for the younger kids. She's got the right attitude. Carly was a completely different story. Carly not only worked, but she came in as a redshirt. You know, somebody that we didn't really anticipate contributing as much as she did, and she's worked so hard to be a leader, and both are going to be really tough to replace. And then you've got Laura Duncan, who was also a senior this year, who, while not on the court as much as the other two, did an unbelievable job as a mentor for our younger players.
Now going back to the freshmen for a second, obviously, if you're any player, you want to win it all every year, but obviously you know that's not possible.
Right.
So knowing the circumstances you guys came into this year, how satisfied do you think the freshmen as a whole felt and what they accomplished?
Well, I think that, I mean, they're obviously happy with what they accomplished, but I think we have some really good freshmen that didn't see a lot of time, and I think that their goal is obviously going to be to contribute a little bit more and to keep working hard. I think the ones that are on the court, I think that they're eager to be even better than we were. So.
And last question for you, Coach. For you individually, being named PSAC West Coach of the Year for the second straight season, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I think it's a great honor that your peers feel that way and saw that we worked hard, but I mean, your players put the work in, and they're the ones that go out and compete hard, not only in practice, but on the court every night. And if they don't get it done, that doesn't happen. So it's for them.
Well, Coach, it was another fun ride you guys gave us this year. We're looking forward to another one. I know I won't be seeing as I'll be graduating this year, but keep it going. Keep it going for the years to come.
Yep, have a good one.
And coming up next year on Golden Eagles Live, Anthony Fiuza will rejoin me. We'll go through our standout stars for this upcoming week in Clarion Sports. Keep it right here on CUTV.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Hey? God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And back here on Golden Eagles Live here on CUTV, Matt Catrillo here with you. It is the semester finale. Well, man, Anthony Fiuza, the Fuse, back with me.
Oh, yeah.
Here tonight. And Anthony, we go now to our standout stars for this week in Clarion Sports. For first, one standout star that's already stood out is Julian Hauser, who was named one of 8 finalists for the Gene Upshaw Award for Best Defensive Lineman in Division II. And Anthony, if he wins this award, he will get an automatic bid into the East-West Shrine Game, which, of course, we all know he's trying to pursue an NFL career. Ton of NFL scouts coming in this year to all the games and practices. That certainly would give him a boost, but just to have this honor definitely is an incredible one to have.
Yeah, Matt, he was just the defensive standout, the star, the leader, the man on defense and overall the team. Coach had nothing but good things to say about him. He deserved it. He worked hard, and also I was doing a radio broadcast. I was doing play-by-play and for one of the games, and a Colts scout was there. He was always watching him play. So yeah, good things coming for this young guy. I tell you that. Yeah,
we'll certainly be keeping an eye out on him throughout the rest of his time here at Clarion and going into, of course, to April's NFL draft. So make sure to keep it here to CUTV, our social media, and here on air as well for continuing coverage as Julian Hauser pursues his career for the NFL. So let's go now to some standout stars, what we might see from this week in Clarion Sports. Anthony, I'll start with you. Who's on your radar?
I'm going with Tanea Holmes. She's the main player shooting beyond the 3 for the Clarion's women's basketball team. She's been stroking the ball really good beyond the arc, and I look forward again. She has to get involved early, and Coach Ashley has mentioned that before, so I'll look for her.
And 2 out of the last 3 games, Tanea Holmes has finished with 20 points or more. She had 21 in the loss at Walsh on Tuesday night. And she's been really good from beyond the arc as well, shooting 40%, the team's best three-point shooter as well. So she's been good offensively. But I'm going to go with Amisha Harden-Pulliam, who was named PSAC West Freshman of the Week last week, and one of the top players, running the point a lot with Tanea at the top of the key in those 1-2 spots. So I think she's done the job so far, and obviously still going through some growing pains as well. But obviously the two of them have what look to be a pretty good 1-2 punch at the point guard spots.
Yeah, they're playing really well. Passing the ball is key for them, and I saw a lot of that, especially this past weekend, actually 2 weekends ago. Just good job passing the basketball and getting the stars involved.
I'll go with men's basketball now, Anthony. First, I'll go with my star, Kaim Hall. Got a chance to see him play out in Eastern PA at Pocono Mountain East High School. Good rebounder, just all around good motor, always keeps himself going. He had a big game in the win against Carlo along with Tyrone McFadden. I really like what I've seen from him so far, and all the freshmen really combined, but Kaim Hall to me has really stood out down low on the boards, especially dealing with the injury of Aaron Johnson too.
Yeah, he's a monster, man. I tell you that right now. Hulk, you have some competition coming for you, buddy. That guy, he can post up. He's pretty good, and I look for him to be more of a contributor going forward, helping out Aaron Johnson down low. And he'll need that going forward, especially with this team playing tougher division rivals.
So who's next now on your standout stars?
I'm going to go with Slade Horner, men's wrestling. He was a good trigger for them this past week, but looking to build on his momentum, that's key for this team. Just the energy that he brings, it's unprecedented. So go with Slade Horner.
I'll stick with wrestling too. I'm going to go with the other guy who won the award this week for EWL Freshman of the Week, and that was Brock Zackerl. One of the young studs from Brookville High School, PIAA state champion. It brings a lot of experience and a lot of success to the program so far, and he'll certainly be up and coming as well for Clarion.
Yeah, definitely, and you need him to help out because this team needs to start growing and needs to start winning. Most importantly, sooner rather than later. It's about time.
And as we go to break here on Golden Eagles Live, a couple of games I forgot to mention from Block 1, cross country finishing 18th at the NCAA Division II Atlantic Regional. Danielle Venzel finishing 94th. Myla Reynolds, closest to her career, finishing 112th. And swimming and diving, the men lose at Bloom 143-99. Ben Spencer winning the 200 backstroke. Women lose 146-115, also against Bloomsburg. Gabby Schaefer leading the way with wins in the 100 and 2-meter backstroke. So that was a couple look around here in Clarion Sports. So coming up next here on Golden Eagles Live, Anthony and I will give our game predictions for the upcoming week in the good old Clarion Sports. That's next here on CUTV.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time lost is brain loss.
Welcome back to Golden Eagles Live here on CUTV. Mac and Trillo here with you, rejoined by Anthony Fiuza, the Fuse. We go now to our game predictions for the upcoming week in Clarion Sports. Let's go to men's basketball at Gannon, women's basketball as well at Gannon.
I'm going to say they both lose. I just think the going on the road, young teams, transitioning, the loud crowd doesn't bode well, especially going up against Gannon. As you mentioned, Matt, one of their teams is actually top 5 in the nation, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that'd be the women's team, top 5 in the nation. They faced a lot of good teams so far. They're actually on a 2-game losing streak. The Gannon women's team is, and actually the men's team too. Both have faced some tough competition. The women's team losing to Ashland 80 to 73 in a hard-fought game last week, and they lost to Grand Valley State a couple days ago as well. So it'll be tough competition for the women. I think the women lose. It's because I think defensively they have a lot of things to still work on. And I know Gannon's been struggling shooting the basketball. They're coming off their best shooting performance. I think they're starting to finally get things going. Brittany Batts is just so deadly from beyond the arc. She's in the top 10 all-time in three-point field goals made. So she'll be tough to stop, one of the better teams in the PSAC. So I'm not seeing it there for the women. But here's my bold prediction for the week. The men, 3-20 all-time, as I mentioned, at the Hammer Mill Center. They've lost 9 straight against Gannon. Gannon's also lost 2 in a row, 2-4 on the year, 2-0 in the PSAC. I think the Golden Eagles go up there and break the schneid. They win.
Nice.
Close game.
That's
Close
a
game.
Good pick.
I'll even go. I'm going to go 77-74. Close game. I think the way they've been forcing turnovers. You know, Adam Blazek, I know what kind of a player he can be. The minute he gets going, you know, look out. But he's been struggling with it this year. So if the Clarion can get on his heels early, force some turnovers, get a little momentum. They got to do better at the free throw line, too. They've also struggled along with the women's team. But I don't know. I just got this feeling, Anthony. I think they're going to pull it off.
I got a
really
feeling. Good song. Not better than some of the other songs that they made, Black Eyed Peas and such. But I got a feeling.
Yeah.
Good,
I like it.
Good bold pick.
Here we
I'll tell you that.
Thank you. All right. Let's go to wrestling now, Anthony, as they have the PSAC Championships at Bloomsburg. Been a tough start for them so far. What do you see for them on Saturday?
I see. I'll go bold here. I'll go bold. I'll say the women's team wins at home. I see it coming, man. I got a feeling as well, my friend. Just the passing, the momentum. I like the women's team to win. I think they got the right mindset at home. The men's team, however, they're going to face a tough opponent here. I think they'll get put in their place, but good learning experience facing a tough PSAC rival.
Yeah, I think so too, Anthony. I like what I've seen, though, from some of the freshmen. I mentioned Brock Zackerl, Slade Horner had a good showing, but I'm just not seeing really any consistency yet for them. And you know, their first big spotlight they're gonna be in at the PSAC Championships. They just had one against Penn State. They kind of get their feet wet a little bit. No one really expected them to do much anyway. So I think I'll give Brock Zackerl a chance here. I think he can make some noise coming up here.
Yeah, I think he does as well. Again, you need that tough motor, and I think Clarion they need something. They're stretching for something.
Yeah. And finally, we go to swimming at the Zippy Invite at Akron, and a tough loss for them at Bloomsburg. Speaking of which, but we obviously know what both the men and women can do, both on the diving board and in the pool.
Yeah, I think they'll do pretty well. The men's and women's. Not too sure where they'll finish exactly. Middle of the pack, I'm thinking, for both. But yeah, they've been putting on good showings here throughout the season. But inconsistency has doomed them, and watch out for that.
I think they both bounce back and win this week. Bloomsburg is a tough opponent, one of the better teams as well in the PSAC, and as far as the East is concerned. So I think both teams bounce back with a win. And of course, you'll see the usual suspects: Ben Spencer, Colin Vest, Kristen Day on the women's side, Emily Geisigum. They all will do well in their races coming up this weekend. So, Anthony, appreciate you coming on not this tonight, but all this semester long, and all your contributions in our final semester. Enjoy good luck on your finals if you have anything coming up. I don't know how many finals you have. I only have just one, the benefits of being a senior, but yeah. How many do you got?
I got one final.
One final.
I'm going to take it down. I'm going to take it down, my man.
I'm right with you right there. There we go. So, and enjoy your holidays, New Year's, and we'll see you back here in the spring. Thank you. I only got one semester left. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd be here for the day that I'd say this, hosting this show. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We should be on Tuesday nights. We'll be sure to stay tuned for that when we get back here in the spring here on Golden Eagles Live. But for all of us here at CUTV, it's Matt Catrillo saying have a Eagle-tastic night and an Eagle-tastic winter break.